What's up, guys? Crack back with another pack. Okay, today we got Sergio Kitchens, a.k.a. Gunna, with the YSL indictment. Now, I know you guys heard that he was again denied bond for the second time. We also found out that he may be connected to trying to get drugs into the facility, which we're going to go over all of that within this. We also heard some new accusations of him dealing with the Shady Park Crips in Atlanta and him being connected to two bodies also, which we will also cover within this piece. And also an individual that he was connected to by the name of King Troup, which is a Shady Park 6-0 Crip out there. Rest in peace to him. We'll also cover him throughout this piece. So we got a lot packed in today. We also got some Big U in here because Big U with the 60s in LA connected with the Shady Park. We're going to go over that and kind of find out and see how Gunna was kind of, I guess you could say, affiliated with them because the Shady Park 6-0 Crips, all of that. Well, you'll see what I'm saying once we get started. So strap on your seatbelts because we got a long one today. We're going to take a deep dive into Sergio Kitchens, a.k.a. Gunna. Lastly, I want to say it's been a lot of speculation that Gunna was going to be a snitch within this situation, and he was going to be the individual that's probably going to be giving up the information. I've seen it on a lot of blogs, and I've seen it on a lot of YouTube channels. So what we're going to do is we're going to start from the beginning like we always do, and we're going to figure out what's going on. Let's get to that now.
Hold on, academics. Let's get this live and motherfucking clear. My energy is the same. I want to punch. Yeah, I want to punch, but I'm trying to be nice. That's why Trey just came over here to calm me down as a big brother and say, well, come on now, you got to think how bigger things is going with life, baby. We can come down and be, hey, look here, don't get this shit misconstrued or misconfused. I got the same energy. Trey just got me saying I want to punch for peace instead of punching for grease. I want to punch for peace. If you really talking about that, talking about this. Second of all, black folk, I'm on y'all like, how's all the black folk in the world mad at 6ix9ine, bitch 9 because he snitching, but y'all still listening to Gunna music, dripping and waving all this the fake dripping that he got going on, and he a whole snitch. It's publicly documented. Now, don't y'all be no hypocrite, fake ass motherfucker like that. Y'all all on 6ix9ine, but y'all ready to hang with the slime, this snaking and rat, and rats and snakes hang together, snitching and snitching.
Y'all bitch ass niggas glorifying 6ix9ine and Gunna. Y'all hoes. Yeah, Gunna in the same fucking category as 6ix9ine. Go look up Gunna name. Go look up Serious Kitchens. Look up Sergio Kitchens. Nigga gon' be on CNN ratting.
All I talk is crack. I can get the brick out. I put in the work and never, no nigga can never just say that I looked up.
Okay, as you can see, the allegations against Gunna have been for about 2 or 3 years ago. That's Sauce Walker out of Houston and Tech out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. They both rappers, and they both felt like this man has already snitched, right? Now, I'm about to show you a little small clip of what I could get on here without getting a copyright strike. Now, the way I did it, you guys going to have to listen close, but this is going to be Gunna in the CNN news clip that made these individuals bring up these allegations against Sergio Kitchens. Okay, let's get to that now.
Yeah, they put
Or he walk around with try to come Kitchen says Ben first lied to police because he didn't want to rat out another member.
Okay, that's all I could play because of the copyright. But if you could listen close, you could hear him just speaking to the CNN individual. What happened was, I guess his relative, they were at a club or something like that, and a young lady got shot that night. And from what Gunna said is that an individual had on a red sweatshirt and his cousin had on a red shirt, and someone pointed his cousin out, right? So he was just basically trying to say to the individual from CNN that it was the wrong individual. I mean, they had about a 7 to 8 minute interview on CNN. You can go find that on YouTube. Just put in Gunna snitching. I mean, that's just how it come up. And then you could really see what he said on there, but I couldn't put everything on there based on copyright. So is that snitching? You would have to go look at the video and you would have to make that decision on your own. But as you could hear, his peers are saying that it's snitching. Now we're going to get to a clip where Gunna is on the Breakfast Club and he's basically being asked about these allegations, and you will hear his answer. Let's get to that now.
Gunna, talk to me about this Crime Stopper video that everybody's circulating. They trying to use that against you. What was that about?
I don't know. That's about, Crime Stopper, well, I ain't never stopped a crime. Never.
So that's not even you on that video?
Yes, that's me, but that wasn't on no Crime Stopper. I don't know what the hell nigga thinking about, because I wasn't in no case or nothing. So a nigga even like just saying like, oh, you snitched on who? I was never in no case. See what I'm saying? But you know, niggas, it'd be that go back to the internet. I don't really be feeding into it because I don't know. I'm really from the street. Where I'm from, like, if you snitch, bro, this shit is in paperwork. It's a document. See what I'm saying? I already kept that shit. Don't be about nothing.
Yeah, when I watched the video, when I watched it, you was actually saying that your people was in jail because somebody else was talking on them. That's what I took from it.
Right. My cousin went to jail. A little girl got killed. My cousin went to jail for it. Another nigga went to court and said my cousin did it, but my cousin didn't do it. I'm putting them down on like, but y'all got the wrong. This is my cousin. My cousin still got life for this right now to this day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I took from it. I was confused. I was like, okay, I don't understand what they trying to say here.
I am telling my cousin, crazy. My cousin didn't do shit. But they go back to the internet and just, you know what I'm saying?
Did that come back from?
Just let them think what they want.
Is that for somebody that didn't like you, or was that just just regular internet, or was that from somebody that was like, you know what, he really don't like you, he just gonna try to throw whatever dirt he can on your name?
Of course. Now I'm the one, not the two. He gonna try to get you out the one. You know what I'm saying? Nigga gonna try their best, especially if you doing something. Just not many niggas just hate on goddamn. Be like, oh, Charlamagne, this, he, this, and that. But I don't even know this man. You know what I'm saying? Just let niggas talk. That's just how that should be.
Okay, that would be Gunna's explanation for why these individuals were saying that he was snitching, or why he went on the CNN and had the interview, right? But I played that because it's a lot of people thinking that he's snitching in this YSL indictment, which we don't have any proof of that, and plus he's still locked up. So right now he's not, but people feel like he's going to break because of that situation. So I wanted to bring that to you guys' attention. Okay, next what we're going to do is we're going to play this quick clip from the DA that was in the recent bond hearing for Gunna. And what he said, he brought up another gang that Gunna was attached to. So I'm going to play that clip now, and then we're going to come back and talk about it. Let's get to that clip now. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Audio Crack 22 on all platforms.
Is a member of the Shady Park Crips out of South Fulton.
The Shady Park Crips.
Man, you already know it, nigga. 6500, nigga. FPC, nigga. The fam, man.
Yo, snuck over this bitch. Yeah,
I got all my goons out here, man. Waters, I was just, come on, man. Worldwide, everybody cop. Everybody cop. Look at that.
Street shit, man. I got to understand that, man. We got chill, man.
That's so real.
You know what I mean?
What label you rap?
You already know that.
What label you rap? APC, nigga, Lime Records, nigga, Matcha, nigga. I ain't get the shoes on. But I got the Gucci shoes matching the Gucci belt. I'm just doing some major cooling, man. Some major cooling, man. My little young nigga, man. You know what I mean? I'm my little young nigga, man. Hey, banging them seeds, man. We doing this shit, nigga. We live, nigga. APC, nigga.
Okay, so once I heard the DA speak at the Shady Park Crips, I started digging to see where I could find a connection with Gunna and the Shady Park Crips. And as you can see on the screen, you see Gunna when he was young. He used to rap, and he got the SPC chain on, which I believe would be Shady Park Crips. I'm not sure about that, but I'm just taking a, you know what I'm saying, educated guess on that. So I believe before Thug, he was connected with these individuals with the Shady Park Crips. Now, there was an individual by the name of King Troup that was also connected to the, I believe, Shady Park Crips via the 6-0 Crips in Atlanta. Now, this is where Big U comes in. I found a clip with Big U interviewing Gunna, and they kind of speak about Shady Park and also speak about an individual by the name of King Troup. As I was doing this research on Shady Park Crips, I started to continue to run across this name of King Troup. So I end up finding a connection between King Troup, Young Thug, Birdman was also within this, and Gunna. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get to the Big U clip where they speak about King Troup, and I want you to listen to about Shady Park Crips and King Troup, and then we're going to move on and get to King Troup. Okay, let's get to that clip now.
Who was actually the first one out of y'all to actually get in with Slime? How did y'all get in with Troup? Troup was the first one. Troup
called us.
Yeah, he used to be
called me and Nietzsche and said, Slime shooting a video over here in the hood. Y'all come down here, make sure you good. You know,
let me add to that. I happened to be in New York with the artist, I can't remember his name.
But it was the same day of Troup's father's funeral.
Right.
And at that point, like a couple of months leading up to that,
Troup had really started around with Thug and Baby and all them dudes.
You know, they was doing what they do.
Metropolitan of Law.
Right, exactly. What's his name? Rico. And he called
Rico
me.
the rapper?
Rico had the song. If you ain't got no haters, you ain't crap. You ain't
he had the song, but he on the studio too.
Yeah. So
Troup called me. I was in New York. He said, "Hey man, Thug over here. We doing a repass at my mama's house."
Man, called Michi in there because he would never call Nietzsche. He called Michi in there and tell him to come over there. And it was kind of awkward because everybody knew what Thug get down. And
the homies from Shady Park was
really 100% Shady Park on their shit. And they was like, "You sure?" You sure, bro? I was like, "Man, go over there and and next thing I know, here we are. Look at this motherfucker."
But see, what was so crazy is we was going through our shit right then and there, where it was like the hood one.
Kind of like, yeah.
So we didn't pull up like how we could pull up. Like it wasn't 30 of us. It was got 5 of us. So it gave like Slime could really see who pulled up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Right. Versus when it was just cause how the pull up was, it was different. That's how we even started rocking with
Troup more. Like
we was really on hood. Like we didn't really go to old Nettie.
Yeah, exactly.
You see what I'm saying? Like the you and the blue really what made our side come together. You and Unc for sure.
Right.
Because he was here. But like, you know what I'm saying? Just like how we made that side, that's really how we started. You getting Shady Park, going to Old Neck, they going to Hillendale. Like it wasn't none of that. They blue brought it together. So that's how we ended up
getting with Troup because Troup had all that net. You ain't going on the net and I said, Unc.
So Unc was on that, hey, you know how he is, that's how he is. Come in. That's what he was built up on.
Oh my God.
That's so when we got with that.
Lil Hughes, that's
how he was.
Lil Hughes, he wanted love.
That's how he became out like and big homie because it was like he was like, oh yeah, what's going on? What come up?
Cause I thought Duke was the first one.
Duke was because Duke used to run with the other with
nipping them back before. Yeah, early.
Duke for sure.
No. I thought Duke was the first one with Slime.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm okay.
For sure.
Cause you was the first one.
He didn't come with us though.
You like, did a deal with him.
Yeah, but I'm like the first artist over there.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, that's what I was.
But they didn't know each other.
We didn't know. Like we
don't know like they do Troup.
Right.
Troup
pulled
up to the studio. They were gambling when everybody
going down to the studio.
Yeah, and the next day, that when the funeral was. We woke up late at the house. We were like, man, we got to go to the south. Like,
so how does this work? So how does this work after you meet Slime? Because I know Slime was already across color lines. He wasn't never really on that because him and as I always heard about him and people he was on with. So and from what I seen and from what I knew of him, I always knew he had a feeling and a connection to the land because he was partners with people, or at least that's what I heard.
It was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I always wanted to meet him because I felt like he was one of them strong young cats who was already on some positive.
Now, as you heard Big U say was, and he would have liked to meet him, that's because King Troup came to his untimely demise at a gas station in Atlanta. And we're going to get to that news clip and show about that. Now, the importance of King Troup is the individual that brought Gunna and Young Thug together. And a month after he brought Young Thug and Gunna together, he passed away. I'm going to get to another quick clip before we get to the clip of King Troup and his untimely demise. Let's get to that clip now.
I met Thug through a mutual friend who knew him. Like, he was like like an uncle of mine named Troup. Like, rest in peace. Him and Thug was like real cool, and he introduced us to like probably I would say like a month before he died. And then when he died, it kind of just brought us closer together. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, now you got it in full context. We know where Gunna comes from, you know, out of the King Troup camp. And also King Troup was a very important fixture within Atlanta. As I did my research, he was in various songs. I mean, shouted out in a lot of songs. They had a whole song called King Troup after he died at the gas station. Young Thug and Gunna was in the video, and also King Troup's son was in the video, and Jeezy also shouted him out. So as you can see, he was really popular within the industry. You see Birdman there. You see Jimmy Winfrey there, a.k.a. Pee Wee Roscoe, which is on the YSL indictment. You see Thugger there. So he was really a fixture in that. So now we're going to get to the clip, the news clip of the untimely demise of King Troup. Let's get to that clip now. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Audio Crack 22 on all platforms.
Police surveillance video of a deadly shooting at a Chevron gas station in South Fulton County. Channel 2's Liz Arts joins us live on Old National Highway where this shooting happened. And Liz, you just spoke with detectives who say that someone should definitely be able to recognize this shooter.
Yeah, that's right, Craig. The video is crystal clear. The shooting happened in this parking lot behind me, but two cameras were rolling on the inside. Or at the time, the one on the inside caught the suspect's face. The cameras out here on the corner of the building caught the entire crime on camera. Police say that somebody should recognize this guy. A crime that was all caught on tape. It happened early Sunday morning around 1 at a busy Chevron gas station. Customers were coming and going. In the mix of these people, police say, is a cold-blooded shooter.
He didn't seem to be very upset after he did the shooting. He got in his car and calmly drove off.
He drove off in a blue, newer model four-door sedan, possibly a Dodge or a Chevrolet. Sergeant Scott McBride wants people to take a close look at this man. He says the suspect is the one in the black shirt with bold writing on it.
That shirt and that face, it's very distinctive. We're hoping somebody has seen him before.
They say he shot the man in the parking lot. All that was caught on camera, too. It's a video police are not releasing just yet. The victim was a black male with long dreadlocks. He has not been identified.
They appeared to talk, appeared to have a transaction, walked away from each other. The victim came back, walked back. They appeared to have an argument. And as the victim was walking away, the suspect calmly shot him.
Police suspect it was a drug deal. We spoke with people who frequent the gas station. They say after dark, it's not a safe place. They told us the area is known for drugs, but it's a busy area, which makes the crime that much more bold.
It's on a state highway, Old National Highway. There were people coming and going. There were video cameras everywhere. He didn't appear to care.
Now, police are asking anyone who knows anything about this crime or who knows the suspect to call them, to call the Fulton County Police Department. We're live in South Fulton County. Liz Arts, Channel 2 Action News.
Certainly someone knows who he is because that is some really crystal clear video, Liz. Thank you.
Okay, as you can see, King Troup was in the gas station and an individual in the black was in the gas station. They couldn't find the individual at this time, but then I found another clip, news clip, where they did end up showing a situation with Troup at the gas station, and it's a little, I'll say, eerie on how this situation unfolded. Okay, let's get to that clip now.
New at 5, College Park police desperately need some help to find a killer, and the shooting was all caught on video. Channel 2's Dave Huddleston live in College Park with why detectives are saying this gunman's extremely dangerous.
Justin, and this is where that killing happened, right here in front of this gas station. You can still see some of the victim, Keith Troup's friends there, right where he was shot at the front door of that gas station. And late this afternoon, I want to show you this real quickly. College Park Police gave us this wanted sign looking for that killer. College Park Police showed us surveillance video of the murder suspect gunned down South Fulton resident Keith Troup. In the video from early Saturday morning, you can see the suspect waiting on the side of the building, and when Troup comes out of the store, the suspect comes from around the corner of this gas station and shoots multiple times. Rodriguez Jackson arrived on the scene seconds after the murder.
It was shocking. I didn't know, I was afraid for my life because I didn't know was the dude still around or not.
Outside the Chevron station where Keith Troup fell and died, friends of the murdered man left flowers, candles, even a Bible. This person, who didn't want his face shown, says Troup was a good man.
He was a good person, man. I mean, you needed anything, he looked out for you. I mean, he was a good person. Everybody loved him, for real, for real. Like, it wasn't no bad blood. It's a messed up situation.
College Park Detective Tiffany Thomas told me police need help catching the killer, but the video is good quality.
The hoodie was kind of covering up his eye, so he wanted to pull the hoodie off his eye so he can see and make sure he was shooting the victim.
Detective Thomas also says it's extremely unusual that the suspect had a gun in each hand.
To me, it just tells me that he really wanted to kill this particular person.
And friends here on the scene tell me that Troup's funeral is planned for Monday. Reporting live from College Park, Dave Huddleston, Channel 2 Action News.
Okay, first we want to say rest in peace to King Troup. I mean, that was a brazen attack on him coming out the gas station. For what reason, I don't know. The police are trying to say it was a drug deal going bad, but if you sit out there and wait on an individual with two weapons, it sort of reminds me of the Nipsey Hussle thing. Like, he was really upset at this man for whatever his reasons was. So we just gonna say rest in peace to King Troup again. And at that time, they didn't find the individual. But as you can see now, Wilson evaded law enforcement for a few days, and they found him in a house on Peppermill Lane. In his escaped attempt, he tried to jump from a second-story balcony. Police found an AK-47 at the home as well. Wilson was found guilty on several charges, including malice, murder, felony murder, possession of firearm during the commission of a felony, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. He also said he blacked out before shooting King Troup. So this man is behind the jail cell, so people don't never have to worry about him again. I want to say rest in peace to King Troup. And I want you guys to understand the reason why we went through King Troup is because this is very important, because he's a part of the reason why Young Thug and Gunna became so tight and became friends or whatever. And also, I believe he has a part in the Shady Park Crips or has some type of influence over them. We do know he's from 60s, but I believe he has some influence out that way in Atlanta to make something move if he needed it to move. So now what we're going to do is get back to Gunna and a new allegation that the DA is trying to pin on him about a medical assistant that actually got caught back in May, I believe, trying to bring or smuggle some drugs into the Fulton County Jail. And they're actually saying that Gunna has a part in this. But if you guys don't remember the individual that was caught taking the drugs into the Fulton County Jail back in May, then here's a clip to remind you. Let's get to that clip now.
You're learning more now about a jail staffer who's accused of trying to smuggle in drugs into the Fulton County Jail. We first told you about this on Channel 2 Action News at 6. Deputies now looking for 24-year-old Traquera Ford. She was a contracted medical assistant at the jail. Investigative reporter Ashley Lincoln live tonight after learning about prior communication Ford was allegedly having with inmates there before getting caught with these alleged drugs. Ashley?
That's right, Justin. What we know from those county documents that we've been going through all day today is that Ford ran out of these doors behind me and into a black Nissan Altima. That was after she was questioned about coming to work smelling like marijuana. Now, we also found in those county documents that Ford is accused of having communications with inmates in those days leading up to her running out of this building. It's a search for Tracera Ford. Fulton County Sheriff Patrick Labatt says has been ongoing since Saturday.
We will not tolerate anybody bringing contraband in.
Labatt says the 24-year-old, a contracted medical assistant for the jail, ran out of the facility Saturday after being questioned about returning to work smelling like marijuana. She drove away in this black Nissan Altima with a Tennessee tag 75A-R44. Documents reveal a captain reported she asked Ford if she had marijuana on her after smelling a strong odor. The captain states Ford told her no. But the document goes on to say the captain reported Ford eventually said she had been smoking in her car with the windows down before coming to work.
When I read that she admitted she had been smoking, I found that to be astonishing.
She gonna tell me, when you go back to jail, don't call my phone.
We found these images of Ford on her Instagram page. Several posts shows her showcasing marijuana. A document indicates it was what was in a backpack Ford left behind that has her now facing 5 felony charges.
You will go to jail.
Inside that bag, sheriff's deputies found about 20 grams of suspected crack cocaine, 6.8 ounces of suspected marijuana, 200 cigarettes, and 2 packs of tobacco.
A sad day in law enforcement when this happens.
A warrant for Ford led me to this extended stay in Clayton County as her last known address. Here, employees confirmed with me she's been staying here for at least 2 months with her boyfriend. Workers say just last week the two got into a fight and Clayton County police were called. Fulton County records also indicate authorities turned up a recorded call on May 4th, allegedly between Ford and 1 or 2 inmates, in which she says, quote, "Brought saran wrap and coffee. I know what I'm doing." Sheriff Labatt says some people use those items in a false attempt to mask the scent of drugs.
We want to make sure that we keep our community as safe as possible. Please submit a tip on our Sheriff's app.
And Ashley, this is not the first time a jail employee or contracted worker has been accused of trying to bring drugs into that jail, right?
Yeah, sadly, it isn't, Justin. We did find out from the sheriff that they have had to deal with this in the past. However, he says they have zero tolerance for this. That's why they are actively looking for Ford again. They're asking anyone with information. She's driving a black Nissan sedan with those Tennessee plates. He's asking anyone with info to contact the sheriff's office. So they are actively looking for her, Justin.
A story we will certainly stay on top of in the coming days. Thank you, Ashley.
Okay, Miss Ford is the young lady that they're saying brought drugs in for Gunna, right? She's a contracted medical worker, so that means she's outsourced from somewhere else, right? Now, why this young lady thought that she was going to be able to drop the bag of drugs, run to her vehicle, which is all on camera. This is a Fulton County jail, so there's cameras everywhere, and get away with this. Now, what was in the bag? If you didn't hear it, the lady on the news mentioned that there was some papers in the bag, which is going to give her extra charges, right? Which you'll find out what those papers are in the next clip that we have. But also, what I want to point out is once they went to her Instagram and she just burning tree like that and just all willy-nilly like it's all good. Listen, man, when you have a job like that, you can't be doing nothing like that on Instagram. You got to go to work and do your thing. But we know where she come from. We know what type of individual she is because they stated that she's been talking to people within the jail by going through her phone records, right? But what does that have to do with Gunna, though? You're going to say, Crack, what does that got to do with Gunna? And I'm like, look, I don't know what that has to do with Gunna. It happened back in May. So if this situation had anything to do with Gunna then, I believe they would have brought that out in court then, right? Or they probably waited until he came up for his bond hearing and then they wanted to bring it out at that point, which I don't understand. But, like I said before, something is real fishy about this whole entire case. And I believe that they're throwing a lot of things on these individuals for whatever reason that they want to. I guess they want these guys gone. I mean, Fannie Willis basically said she did not want these guys back on the street. And it's looking like that's what's going to happen. But who knows? Okay, now we're going to get to the clip where they're trying to accuse Gunna of having something to do with Miss Ford and these drugs. Let's get to that clip now. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Audio Crack 22 on all platforms.
Prosecutors say Gunna was involved in an incident there, and this was back in May.
Yeah, George, these are all allegations, but as you mentioned, it was May 14th when prosecutors say a nurse attempted to smuggle a bag inside this jail. It was full of marijuana and cocaine, but when a deputy confronted her, she dropped it, then took off running. Now, today in court, prosecutors claim that some of those drugs were intended for the rapper Gunna, a claim that his attorneys are calling false.
Okay, first we got the Shady Park Crips they want to bring up. Now they want to bring up that Gunna has something to do with this nurse and her bringing drugs into the jail, right? I'm just going to call cap on it. Like, I believe that they're putting the pressure on these boys and really trying to hold these boys down and not let them out. And anything that happens within the Fulton County Jail or anything, they're going to try to pin it to them or try to make it seem like they had something to do with that, which I feel like is wrong. I feel like, I'm gonna be honest, I feel like they should have gotten bond, because anywhere else you could get bond. So all of these charges, it just doesn't make sense. Why wouldn't you have brought that up earlier when the lady dropped the bag? Because they're saying that the evidence was in the bag, a piece of paper with Gunna's name on it, which, hey, your guess is as good as mine. But now what we're gonna do is, Miss Ford ended up getting caught. So we're going to go ahead and play the clip of Miss Ford getting caught, and then we're going to come back and talk about it. Let's get to that clip now.
All right, so back to that former jail employee. We were told by authorities that she spent more than a month on the run. They finally caught up with her in Mississippi. She is now facing extradition. Also, in the meantime, the judge issued an order. Judge Glanville issued an order on Wednesday forcing defense lawyers to withhold witnesses' information from their clients. This after prosecutors claimed that they had had numerous threats to kill or harm witnesses. Of course, defense attorneys deny those allegations. We're live in Northwest Atlanta. I'm Michael Seiden, Channel 2 Action News.
So the judge ordered them to withhold the witnesses' information because they feel like YSL is like that and they're going to get at these witnesses, right? Now, check my theory out. My theory is this. I believe that they caught this lady. Once they caught this lady, they made her flip and say, look, we want you to say that you spoke to Gunna, or you talked to Gunna, or we had this piece of paper in this bag that we found when you dropped with Gunna's name on it, and we want you to corroborate that. And that lady right there will probably flip faster than anything, because they have her with like 5 things of cocaine, crack, and all type of different drugs. So if she was to go to, it's either jail or say, yes, Gunna wanted me to bring this in. Does that make sense to y'all? Because it just doesn't make sense how they're throwing all of these allegations. When would Gunna even speak to this lady? Now, if they come out and tell me that Gunna and her was in contact, or she was on the same pod as Gunna was on, then I can understand that. But for right now, I'm not really sure what's going on. But I'll tell you this. I know that they're trying to make them boys sit down for a long time, throwing all these allegations out. Now, we also heard that Gunna was denied bond, and we're going to get to that clip. Let's get to that clip now.
New at 4, an Atlanta rapper charged in a gang indictment will stay in jail after a judge denied him bond in front of his family and friends. Channel 2's Michael Seiden was inside the courtroom for that hearing. He joins us live now from the Fulton County Jail. And Michael, prosecutors argued there's some serious reasons Gunna should remain in jail.
Absolutely, George. You know, Gunna is charged here in Fulton County, but he's actually not being kept at this jail. He is being held right now in Henry County. But today he appeared virtually when that judge denied his bond.
None of the allegations made today, these so-called new allegations, are accurate.
High-profile criminal defense attorney Steve Sadow speaking with me exclusively just minutes after a Fulton County Superior Court judge denied bond for his client, hip-hop superstar Gunna.
We're very disappointed. We thought that we presented enough to show he'd be a good bond risk.
Gunna, whose real name is Sergio Kitchens, is one of 28 defendants charged in a sweeping indictment that also accuses fellow rapper Young Thug of being a part of Young Slime Life, or YSL. Prosecutors allege is an Atlanta street gang that committed multiple murders, shootings, and carjackings throughout the city over the last decade.
The state didn't show anything specific that suggests that there are acts of violence or threats directly or indirectly from Mr. Kitchens.
Gunna, who is only charged with racketeering, appeared virtually today in court.
He is a member of the Shady Park Crips out of South Fulton. He is under an investigation at this point in time by more than one law enforcement agency concerning at least 2 homicides committed by that gang during this time.
But Gunna's attorney called those allegations false. In fact, he claims that a witness with knowledge of the gang told prosecutors that the rapper is not affiliated with them.
I repeat, not involved in any of this so-called Shady Park Crips matters.
Okay, as you can see, they denied Mr. Kitchens' bond until 2023, like the rest of the individuals that they have on the YSL indictment. And like I told you earlier, they're also trying to connect him to the Shady Park Crips. But not only that, as you heard the DA speak on 2 murders that they're also trying to connect him to through the Shady Park Crips. Now, how they're trying to do that, I don't know, because maybe what I'm thinking is they're trying to, with the RICO, they have the Bloods and the Crips under YSL, right? Now, if you're connected to another hybrid gang and still with YSL, maybe they're trying to put all of this, any crimes that you're connected to with any individuals or any organizations, they're going to throw it all within this indictment is what I believe, because I'm just trying to figure out how they would try to put Gunna next to Shady Park. Well, I understand why they're putting Gunna next to Shady Park, because, I mean, we have proof that he's, connected kind of to Shady Park, but how could they put Gunna in and involve him in 2 murders throughout Shady Park is what I don't understand. But Gunna's lawyer does have a witness within the Shady Park gang that actually probably will have to testify and say that Gunna has no part within the Shady Park Crips or no part in the murders that took place within the Shady Park Crips. So hopefully that individual comes through and that individual is credible, because if not, things could get more uglier than they already are for Gunna and YSL. Okay, now what we're going to do is listen to an individual. Matter of fact, it's a lawyer by the name of Muhammad Mo. I want you guys to listen to him for a minute and understand where he's coming from. This is a lawyer, and when a lawyer speaks, I tend to listen, because sometimes when I'm doing this and I'm doing the research, I'm really just reading and going off of what I think. But when I can get some more credible information, I like to share it with you guys. So we got this clip for you from the lawyer, Muhammad Mo. Gang it. Let's get to that now. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Audio Crack 22 on all platforms.
Well, probably the biggest case in hip hop right now is the YSL RICO case. We've actually covered this extensively with George Cheedy, who is an Atlanta journalist. He had been actually following this overall case very closely over the past year. And in fact, 2 weeks before everyone got arrested, he actually contacted us for the first time and said, hey, there's something really big that's about to happen in Atlanta around some rappers and some arrests and so forth. He didn't really go into a lot of details, and we kind of just took that with a grain of salt. And then when all the arrests came, he called again and said, this is what I'm talking about. So you looked into this case. What's your overall feeling about what's going on right now?
My overall feeling about what's going on is that there is a lack of respect for constitutional rights of criminal defendants. Look, anytime you get named as the defendant, anytime your picture gets put on that wanted poster, the public, we are going to think you did it, right? I mean, that's what they didn't accuse you for nothing, right? So that is out there, and I get that, and I understand that. And that when you see people in orange jumpsuits with their hands cuffed behind their back getting, paraded through into court, they look guilty. I get that. But the level to which everybody has convicted 28 people in the court of public opinion for being in a gang for over a decade and in corroboration committing acts of murder and violence and robbery, to me, is shocking. It is absolutely shocking. Where is the evidence showing that these 28 people even know each other? Where is the evidence showing that any single one of them received $1 from the head of the gang, Young Thug, to go and do murders? Where is the evidence? And it's one thing to charge people, but to say that of these 28 individuals, not one of them deserve a bond. Gunna does not deserve a bond. He is too much of a threat to society. Even if we put an ankle monitor on him, lock him up in a house, make sure there's no electronics in the house, and have him have absolutely no visitors, he is too much of a threat to society.
Yeah.
Now, this is a certified lawyer. You can go do your Google research on him. He is a lawyer. Now, for him to say this is shocking and for him to ask where all the evidence is the same questions that I have. The same thing that every time I do one of these YSL indictment individuals, I ask you guys the same thing. What do you actually have? And why can't these gentlemen get bond? I mean, it's kind of unbelievable to me. But I just want to point out that this is a lawyer. Okay, let's move on.
I feel like based on all my, research and conversations, like with the George Cheaties in the world and so forth, and actually going through the 88-page indictment, Gunna was sort of like wrong place, wrong time. The way that he's even connected to all this is that he was one of several members in a car that got pulled over and they found a bunch of drugs and guns.
In the car behind them.
The car behind them.
Right,
exactly.
And Gunna on that charge, you know what ended up happening? He got arrested. He was put through the system. You know what his charge was at the end of the day for that incident?
What's that?
I think it's an overt act in furtherance of the conspiracy. He paid a fine for a window tint and they sent him on his way.
Okay, I know you guys all remember that case with Young Thug and Gunna when he got caught with the drugs and everything. We went over that in the Fannie Willis in YSL indictment that we did probably about 2 months ago. So if you don't remember that, we got the clips in there. You can go check that out. Okay, let's move on.
Right.
They didn't have anything on him on that incident, yet currently that incident and very little else is being used to charge him with 5 to 20 held without bail. Under the current procedural rules of the Fulton County Superior Court, because of COVID and other delays, they can't do a speedy trial in 90 days. His trial is 6 months out into January.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. The fact that he's just denied bond altogether and he seems like the least violent out of that whole situation.
But it's not about seems. There are things that we have in this country, ladies and gentlemen, and they're called civil rights. And they're what makes us different from the Russians, okay? If you are asking for a reason for why to give any fucks about Young Thug and him and his friends all getting locked up, it's so that we don't become the Russians, okay? It's so that we have a basic concept that you're innocent until proven guilty, that we don't punish you until you're found guilty, and that if you are a person with no violent felonies in your history, if you're a person willing to wear an ankle monitor, if you're a person willing to pay for round-the-clock security to lock you up, have no outside contact with any individuals, have no electronics in your house, no contraband in your house, then we're gonna allow you bond.
So if I heard that correctly, their civil rights are being violated. This is coming from a lawyer, an individual that goes into court and fights for cases, right? For individuals. So I'm going to take his word for it. I mean, so y'all tell me, the subs, my members, anyone listening to this, how come Thug or Gunna did not get bonds? That's all I'm asking. I mean, you can get in the comments and let me know what's going on. But, I mean, we're listening to a lawyer right now. So, I mean, we're going to take his advice. Okay, let's move on.
If you don't allow a bond, what are you doing? You're punishing that person. You're punishing them without any finding of guilt or innocence.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. George Cheaty felt that Gunna was the only one in this case that could potentially walk away with a somewhat minimum sentence. Everyone else is facing a lot. But him in particular seems like he's just dragged along into this whole situation.
To me, everybody is dragged along into the whole situation. To me, I think that the lawyers think that the whole indictment is unconstitutional and we would challenge it, but for the fact that we know that we're not going to get any justice in this court. That's what I think. I think that if they were up here in New York in federal court, they would move in and move to dismiss and say, Judge, read this indictment. Tell me what this guy did that has him facing 5 to 20 with no bond.
Okay, that was important. What he said that he doesn't feel like they're going to get any justice in the Atlanta courts. And I believe that too. And the reason why I believe he's saying that is because it is a state RICO. This is something that is new. Now, if this was federal RICO, some of those individuals, maybe not federal, would have got bond, because in federal cases, I believe you don't get a bond. So if you don't understand where he's coming from there, I've been trying to say this in a light kind of way. And when I found this clip, I said, this is exactly what I'm really trying to say. Like, these individuals don't have, and when I say these two individuals, I'm meaning Young Thug and Gunna, do not have a felony on their record. I'm going to say that again. Neither one of them do not have felonies on their record. So it's kind of unconstitutional to not give them a bond, understanding the money that they have and the resources to have the 24/7, 24 hours a day protection, along with the home confinement brace. It really is unconstitutional. And he said it best. Okay, so I was going to end it here, but I'm really trying to make an hour this time, y'all. So I think I'm at like 49 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and get into Young Thug's nephew and what happened with him. We're going to play the clip, come back and talk about it like we always do. Let's get to that clip now.
Young Thug's nephew now accused of murdering his girlfriend. It's the latest blow for the family of the well-known Atlanta rapper who's facing multiple felony charges. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Tom Haynes.
I'm Courtney Bryant. Rapper Young Thug remains in jail after a grand jury indicted him and other alleged gang members in what prosecutors call violent street gang activity.
Let's get out to Fox 5's Deidre Duke. She joins us live from the Fulton County Jail, where Fardeen Greer made his first court appearance today. Deidre?
That's right, making that a court appearance on murder charges. He reportedly told responding officers that he and his girlfriend were ambushed as they walked out of an East Point apartment. But a witness tells a different story, saying that he heard the couple arguing just before the shooting.
I am unable to consider bond at this time. Fardeen Greer made a brief court appearance Friday afternoon. His arrest comes on the heels of the indictment of his uncle, popular rapper Young Thug, on RICO charges for alleged criminal gang activity in Fulton County. Police have charged 21-year-old Greer with murdering his girlfriend in East Point on Tuesday. Police responding to a person shot call in an apartment complex on the 4000 block of Fox Hunt Lane discovered Destiny Fitzpatrick's lifeless body in a pool of blood. Greer was reportedly on scene when officers arrived. According to TMZ, Greer told cops he was Young Thug's nephew, the son of YT's oldest sister. A source close to Young Thug confirms the relation. Officers stated in the incident report that they observed items inside the apartment broken and thrown across the living room. Mr. Greer reportedly told police 2 men in ski masks attempted to rob the couple as they were leaving out of the apartment. Greer also stated that one of the masked gunmen shot the victim and they both ran afterwards. Greer reportedly told officers he dragged Destiny back into the house after she was shot and asked someone to call the police. But a witness on scene gave a different account, telling police he heard Destiny and Greer arguing, then what sounded like a gunshot. The man said he walked outside and observed a female on the ground, possibly shot, and called police. He said he did not see anyone running from the apartment.
And Greer does remain behind bars here at the Fulton County Jail tonight without bond. In Fulton County, Deidre Dukes, Fox 5 News.
Oh, man. So we got the nephew of Young Thug, Mr. Greer. Okay, Mr. Greer. So this is the time you decided to spaz out on your girl, shoot her, then try to cover it up. At this time, sir? But that's not the thing that really gets me. The thing that really gets me is, as soon as the police pulled up, he claimed nephew. He told them, look, I'm Young Thug's nephew, like he was out doing good or something. Like that was going to make things different. Now, I don't even believe he would have got away with it regardless of the neighbor or not. But once the neighbor said what he said and they were over there arguing, I mean, it was a wrap. So this does not look good at all for the nephew. He's finished. He already admitted to it. And not to add that it just looks much more worse on Young Thug, and in part that your family members is out here doing this to people that they supposed to love and care about. So all I can say is good luck to that young man. He's going to jail for the rest of his life. Rest in peace to that young lady. And it's just not looking good for Thug. I'm going to leave it at that. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this situation, about this nephew in the comments. I mean, if you make it this far in the video, and I hope you do, then you'll let me know how you feel in the comments. Oh man, I can't believe this. All right, let's move on. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Audio Crack 22 on all platforms. All right, guys, we have 50 minutes now. And, you know, I'm trying to stretch this to an hour. So I guess I'm going to give a little part of myself to you guys. I want to share something with you. I really wish I could show you guys the pictures and really say the names and everything, but I can't do that because YouTube is weird. And people on YouTube are just weird like that. So my wife's sister, younger sister, my wife is the oldest out of 3. And her husband and another individual with their 2 children were on their way to a basketball tournament. And a gentleman fell asleep and his truck swerved over the median and hit their vehicle and killed my nephew, RJ. He was 12 years old. So please drop the praying hand emojis in the chat for me. This has been tough for our whole family. That's really why I haven't been dropping videos like that. We're going to be going to where they are for the funeral. So give me some time to get myself together and I'll be back with you guys. That's why I was trying to make this a little longer. Really wanted to go live, but I'm just not feeling it right now. So everybody just please keep us in your prayers, and rest in peace to my nephew, RJ. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a little piece of a birthday party that they had for Troup after he passed away. I'm going to go ahead and loop that until we get to the 1 hour mark. If you guys want to ask any questions in the comments to me, feel free, because I'm here. I'm in the comments now. Thank you all for supporting me. Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you to my members. And thank you to anybody that just shows up and shows love. I really appreciate it. So we're going to go ahead and get to that clip of Troup. Long live Troup. Rest in peace, Troup. Rest in peace to RJ. Gonna miss you, nephew. Until next time.
Real one. We lost the good one. For real. I had to pay my tribute.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Audio Crack 22 on all platforms.
All I talk is crack, I can get the brick out. I put in the work and never, no nigga can ever just say that I look